Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Katie. I am the Introverted Reader. I'm so happy to see you. If you are new here, feel free to subscribe. There is the subscribe button down there if you feel like joining the family. But anyway, today's video is going to be a book review on Her Majesty's Royal Coven by Juno Dawson. This was the Introverted Reader book club pick for the month of November. I just finished this over the weekend. It's the one and only book that I have finished this month, and I'm a bit scared because I don't know if I'm going to get any other books read, but sure, doesn't matter. But anyway, let's just hydrate and we'll talk. And if you have yet to hydrate, please do. Please do. Let me set that there. There we go. Okay, so Her Majesty's Royal Coven. So this is the start of a new series by Juno Dawson. It's sort of like an alternate history sort of situation. So HMRC, which is the initials for this, is actually the name of the tax office over here in the UK. But obviously Juno has turned it around. She called it Her Majesty's Royal Coven, which in this world is an organisation that was founded by Anne Boleyn. And if you know Anne Boleyn, she was one of Henry VIII's wives. She lost her head, poor thing. But she sort of switched history around, and Anne Boleyn was a witch, and she founded this coven that has been around for hundreds and hundreds of years. And we follow four main characters. We've got Helena, who is the high priestess of the coven, and the other three, Neve, Leonie, and Elle. Now, Neve isn't a part of the coven anymore. She lives out in the countryside in Yorkshire in a little cottage with her dog. We've got Leonie, who was the only black girl in the coven, and she felt very ostracized while she was a part of the organization. See, there's a lot of themes of systematic racism within this book, and Leonie really felt that she was always looked down upon because she was the only woman of color in there. So she left and she started her own coven sort of outside, which is exclusively just for witches of color, basically, and queer people as well, because there's very few queer people within the coven as well. So that's what she's doing. And Elle is the mother of the group. I mean, Helena's a mother too. She has a daughter, but Elle has a husband and two kids. And, you know, Elle just wants to live her life. You know, the other three just kind of want to live their normal lives away from, you know, this organization. And, but then they all kind of get pulled back into it because there comes this prophecy about this unsullied child. And this unsullied child is basically like the Antichrist, as if this child will bring about the apocalypse, pretty much. And it's basically because the Royal Coven's job is to protect the United Kingdom from demonic forces. So they basically kind of get roped back into it because they believe that the unsullied child has been found. And this child is found. Now, a child is found, right, called Theo. And Theo has more than one ability, and that is very rare among the witches, because usually a witch just has one ability and that's it. Whereas they find Theo, and Theo has at least, I think, two or three different magical abilities. I know I'm not using any pronouns for Theo right now, but I don't really want to ruin it. Well, would it be ruining it? I'm not sure. I'll not say, just in case what I've said has interested you and you want to read it. But let's just say Theo is very, very special. And, you know, whether or not Theo is the unsullied child is the big question mark hanging over everybody's heads. And, you know, again, I've mentioned there's a lot of things of systematic racism in here. There's also things of xenophobia and transphobia, a lot of transphobia in here. One of the characters in here, Helena, is the most transphobic old hag you will ever read about. I wanted to reach through the pages and smack her because the things that she says and thinks just is disgusting. And I know a lot of trans people follow me. And obviously Juno is a trans author. And, you know, this is the sort of things that Helena is going on about, is the sort of stuff that Juno and a lot of trans people, I'm sure, hear all the time. But I'm just telling you, if you have not read this book, or if you've not heard of Juno, or, you know, whatever, and you're trans, then be wary when you're reading this. Like, obviously, there's a lot of themes of, like, witchcraft and feminism, and how though both of those things kind of coincide with each other, because basically, way back when, during witch trials, it talks about, obviously, like, women were basically burned as a witch because they were seen as, like, not normal. Like, if a woman lived on her own or did something that was outside of the norm, you know, she was, like, considered basically a witch and would have been killed. So there's a lot of themes of that, and I love that. Like, I remember reading A Lesson in Vengeance, and that had a lot of themes of it as well, but, like, this really... Oh, I mean, this definitely, and then obviously this talks about, like, it doesn't matter, you know, talking about it, like, it doesn't matter, like, whether or not you fit the norm, like, you are who you are, and that's it, you know. And I love that. I loved the sisterhood vibes within this, not so much with Helena. With the other three, yes, absolutely, like, the other three definitely look out for each other as sisters, they support each other, whereas Helena is just a bitch. She's just a bitch, honestly. And I mean, she was, like, the first couple 100 pages or so of this book, I will be real, you know, you're given a lot of backstory, and you're given a lot of, like, you know, this is Neve, this is Leonie, this is Elle, this is blah, 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 you know, given the whole spiel on what everybody's doing and who they are and whatnot. But, and for the first sort of, like, half, I was just like, okay, I see you, I'm not too excited, but I see what it is that you're doing, so... But then the second half of this book, the ending of this book, holy crap, like, oh my word, like, the last 50% or so of this book was just, wow. I mean, wow. And there's this lovely wee old lady in this book called Annie, and she's like everybody's grandmother. Like, she is Elle's grandmother biologically, but, like, everybody else within the Coven just calls her Granny, and I think that's adorable. Like, it kind of reminded me of my own granny, because she was obviously my granny biologically, but, like, literally everybody just called her Granny. She was just everybody's granny, and it was just so sweet, and I loved her. She was such a sweet old lady. And I've been to Manchester, and parts of this book are set in Manchester, but the majority of this is set in sort of, like, Yorkshire area. So if you're from that area in England, you might recognise some places that are mentioned in here. I've never been to Yorkshire myself. Again, I've been to Manchester, I've never been to Yorkshire. I'll put it on my list. But yeah, if you're from Yorkshire, you'll probably recognise some places in here. But overall, I had a really, really fun time reading this. I love Juno Dawson's writing. I love the way she, like, writes. Like, these women are so amazing. Like, every sort of, like, modern woman who, like, so what, she lives on her own, so what, you know, blah, blah. Like, Neve lives on her own with her dog, and she's perfectly content with her life. She's perfectly fabulous on her own, and I love that for her. Leonie is queer. She has a girlfriend, and I love her and her girlfriend's relationship. I love it. And Elle is just, like, amazing, wonderful, like, everyday modern mom. Will love that for her. But her husband, piece of shit. Honestly, piece of shit. Like, as it goes on, you're just, oh, like, you know, typical man, really. But anyway, overall, I had a super fun time reading this. I highly, highly recommend that you pick it up. I'm so excited for book 2. I have book 2 pre-ordered. I'm so excited for it to be in my hands, because, again, the last page of this book, holy crap, like, and it just says the Coven will return in HMRC the Shadow Cabinet. So I'm so excited, and if you have not read this, highly recommend. 4.5 stars to Her Majesty's Royal Coven. It's amazing. Go and read it now. This is the Waterstones edition, if you couldn't tell. Yellow sprayed edges. I also have the Fairy Loot edition right there, which, here, hold on, I'll get her out so I can show you. I'll just set Ang back there. Whoa, don't fall. The issue with having loads of Funkos on your shelf. So this is the Fairy Loot edition in all her glory. She has stenciled edges. She's obviously, this is yellow and the normal edition is pink. I'm matching. This is literally just gonna be the thumbnail. Like, the thumbnail is literally just gonna be me holding these two editions up. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. As I've said in the beginning, if you have not yet subscribed to this channel, feel free to. The button is right there with the wee bell right next to it, or whatever way YouTube's layout is right now. I don't know, like, it updates every bloody day and I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, subscribe if you haven't, give the video a thumbs up, leave me a comment as to whether you have read this book or not. I would love to find out your thoughts. Obviously, no spoilers, but if you've read it, just give us your overall thoughts. I would love to hear them. And yeah, all my socials will be down there, Goodreads, Instagram, Twitter. And yeah, I will see you hopefully soon with a new video. Yeah, I don't know what that video is going to be. Leave suggestions of what videos you would like to see. And I shall see you in the next one. Bye, my dudes.